Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jennese. Today's video is going to be the DockATot review. I've had the DockATot Deluxe and the DockATot Grand now still using since Mia's been a newborn. She is now 1.5, so I almost have a 2-year-old. So if you want to go ahead and see my pros and cons, my opinions, my thoughts on the DockATot, go ahead and stay tuned. So Mia is technically 1.5 years old. She'll be 18 months on June 12th. And I've been using the DockATot Deluxe first. I purchased the DockATot Deluxe when Mia was about 3 months. And then I purchased the Grand, I believe it was when she was going into 9 months or so. So the DockATot Grand is pretty big. If you want to see what it looks like on Mia's actual toddler bed, it basically takes up the whole space of the toddler bed. I'm going to leave up here in the cards my what Mia eats in a day video, because I actually do show in the first part of that her actually sitting in her DockATot. So I backed up a little bit, and like I said, this thing is pretty big, but I'm just going to mix in the pros and cons together. One big pro that I like is that this actually feels like a mattress inside. It comes with a padding that you can actually remove this whole fabric, the actual design of it. It is machine washable, which is a super plus because I've had to wash this thing every single week just like I do regular sheets. But inside of the actual DockATot is the padding, which you don't really have to wash. I've never washed it. The only thing I do is spot clean it. But the inside right here of the zipper has a pad, and then this whole U-shape fabric. It keeps going around and around, and it looks like a huge bed basically. So yeah, a big pro is that it's machine washable. It's super soft. I've noticed that the actual threading of the fabric has never gone bad. Even with multiple washes, it hasn't like thinned out. It hasn't started to shed, nothing. So I can tell that the quality of the actual fabric is pretty good. Now, to go along with that, a con is that I notice sometimes, and it also may depend on your baby, I notice Mia gets hot sometimes in this thing. So I actually have my temperature programmed to bring the temperature down before we go to bed, because honestly we all like sleeping like that. I like sleeping with a lot of covers, but then I get hot. So at night it kind of balances it out if the temperature of the house is down, and then we can still sleep with covers on. So another big pro of this DockATot is that it's super travel friendly. I know you can actually purchase a different like carry case to use it with. I honestly just I put it back in the plastic cover that it comes with, but it does have handles where you can pick it up and just take it anywhere you need to. Now as a toddler, it does stay in her bed all the time. I never take it out. But when she was a newborn, a huge plus is that I could take the DockATot Deluxe, which is, it's a little smaller. It's like about this big. It's newborn size. And I can put it on the couch. I can put it on the floor, on the carpet. I can put it anywhere I needed to. And like I said, because of the padding on the bottom, especially, it didn't feel like she was sleeping on a rock or sleeping on the floor if I had her there. I know another pro, I guess you can say. It's a pro and a con. The DockATot Deluxe retails for about $200, and the DockATot Grand, which is what I have, retails for about $300. So I've spent about $500 on these DockATots, but let me rest my case here. First off, there is a program. If you use a firm, you can make payment plans to purchase this DockATot, and it's not the type of payment plan where you have to pay it off first and then they send it to you. They actually send it to you right away, and then you can just have your payments on auto pay and slowly pay off the DockATot. That's actually what I did when I had the DockATot Deluxe, the first one, the smaller one for Mia when she was a newborn. I did a payment plan for the $200, but I fell in love with it and I ended up just purchasing this one right after. The minute I saw that Mia wasn't fitting and it was getting too tight for her, I went and got this one. Now, if you're thinking like, why am I going to spend that much money? It ultimately depends on the, I guess, type of child that you had. I personally had a child and you know how, babies kind of, they act like their parents in a way. There's some things that you can pick up that your child does that you do, and you're like, hey, you do the same exact thing that I do. I felt the same way with Mia, especially with sleeping. When I'm going to bed, it doesn't matter what temperature it is, even if it's super, super hot, I have to have some sort of cover on me. Whether it be a thin blanket, whether it be an actual comforter, it doesn't matter. I always have to have something on me. And I feel like Mia kind of has that side of me, especially with sleeping. She was never the baby that can just flat out go to sleep. She always needed to be swaddled, cuddled, always needed to be in a really, really tight swaddle in order to feel comfy and to go to bed. If she felt out in the open, she would just jump, and which most babies do jump, but she would not sleep. So I heard about the DockATot, but I was one of those people where I was like, I'm not going to pay that kind of money just for something for her to sleep in, and it's like this small, the original one. So I tried to do it myself. I tried to take a huge comforter and make that U shape and try to, make the indent and everything, and it did not work. It would either fall out of place or something would happen that she would still not sleep. This probably happened for like about 3 months, and then 3 months, like I said, is when I purchased the DockATot. When I tell you that after she started sleeping in that DockATot, she was taking her good 2 naps a night, and she was sleeping for a newborn at least 6 hours through the night. That was a gold mine for me. Of course, every child has their moments. They're either teething and they break off cycle, or anything can happen where they break off cycle. But that DockATot has been a savior for me. And of course, it made it easier for when other people were taking care of Mia as well. When I would work and I would drop off Mia at my grandmother's before she started going to daycare, I took the DockATot, and same thing. She would fall asleep in her DockATot. She was familiar with it. That's probably the best thing that I love about the DockATot, is because it's travel friendly, your child gets familiar with sleeping in the same place no matter where they are. So I can be in a hotel and Mia is going to sleep the same she would as if she were home, because she's in her environment. It's her DockATot. She's familiar with it. She knows that she's comfortable with it. She knows that she likes it. She enjoys having that U shape around her where she feels enclosed and comfy and snug and swaddled. It helps because actually with the DockATot, I don't have to swaddle her so much, which was another thing. When she started getting to about 7 to 9 months, she started to want to use the blanket to snuggle and things like that. Of course, you don't want your child passing away from not being able to breathe. That's the worst nightmare any parent can have. Now I'm okay with Mia going to bed with her, little blankie. But before, she just used to go to bed with one tiny little security blanket, a tiny little Muslim swaddle blanket, or something really light, and she would sleep in the DockATot. But because the DockATot was enclosed, she would feel like she's completely covered in some sort of comforter. I also enjoy the fact that, and I'm pretty sure they paid attention to the dimensions when it came to building this contraption. It's really good that it actually fits in a crib. It fits perfectly in a crib. It fits perfectly in a playpen. So anything baby related, it fits perfectly in. And the deluxe actually fits in almost every bassinet. So again, when it comes to the sleeping, I took the DockATot to Mia's daycare, And then I transferred her over to a toddler bed. It was still the same crib, but I converted it to a toddler bed. And then I noticed that she wasn't sleeping through the night again. And I kept blaming it on teething, kept blaming it on her being sick, but honestly, it wasn't that. So I decided to make an experiment and be like, you know what, let me take this home, see how that works out. She ended up sleeping the whole 8 hours again. And I was like, really? Really? I wasn't going to buy another one because she's doing perfectly fine with sleeping her 2 hours at daycare. But at night, I really needed, like, I was literally losing my mind. I needed her to sleep the 8 hours straight. So yeah, I think that's all I have for this review. Like I said, a quick recap. I'm looking over here because I'm actually looking at the DockATot. But pros, I really enjoy that it's travel friendly. I really enjoy that it's easy to wash it, machine washable. Depending on the type of child you have, I have a child I've had, and she's still the type of child where she needs to be snuggled and swaddled and comfortable in order to go to sleep. So the DockATot is the safest thing possible for her to sleep in without using a blanket or anything that can possibly suffocate her while sleeping. Of course, it's very handy when they're newborns. You can move it around different places of the house. Even when the baby's sleeping in it, I used to put Mia to sleep in the DockATot Deluxe, and then I would slowly pick it up and take it over to her crib, and then she would technically be sleeping in her crib. Now, of course, a con for some people is it may be expensive, but there is payment plans for the DockATot. Like I said, I believe the payment plan they use is called Affirm, or the bank, or whatever they are, credit something. They're called Affirm, and you can just make payments accordingly. I think for the DockATot Deluxe, I did like 3 payments to the $200, and that was it. And then depending on your environment, it can get a little hot, but as any comforter, any fabric can, if you have it swaddled on them, they can get sweaty, they can get hot. So like I said, it's just best to use minimal comforters and things when using the DockATot. And I didn't think of it in my baby essentials video because 1, it was actually at daycare during that time, and number 2, I wanted to make a dedicated video for the DockATot, so hence why I didn't include it in my baby essentials. But if you want to go ahead and see that, I'll leave it up here somewhere too so you can watch. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed my DockATot Deluxe and Grand review. I hope it helps in some way if you're looking to purchase it. Trust me, you will love it. I personally feel like it is worth every penny. And this is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid to say anything. They don't even know me. I just literally love this product. This was one of the few splurges, I guess you can say, from having Mia. And it has been the product that has obviously made its money's worth. I'm still using it. She loves it. She can't go to bed without it. And another example is, I just thought of it. Today, I currently have it since I'm making this video, and Mia's asleep right now. It took her over an hour to go to sleep when it normally only takes her 10, max 20 minutes. I kind of feel bad for taking it from her, but I wanted to do this review and I wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of what it looks like. But I'll leave DockATot's website down below so you can go ahead and check out their other products. They also have super cute other designs. I picked something that was pretty gender neutral just in case, but there's so many cute patterns. They're always coming out with different styles, and they're just always innovating new different things. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your comments down below if you have a DockATot. If you don't, have you been thinking of getting one? Are you gonna get one? Let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for the 100 subscribers that I hit a couple days ago. I thank you guys for watching. It means the world to me. It's nothing big, but I enjoy that I'm able to help. I'm able to give some advice. I'm able to share my opinions on things that people might be interested in hearing too. So yeah, enough rambling. Thank you all. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.